Hey folks, Tom Norfleet with www.citizenshipquickly.com. Wanted to talk to you today on how to legally get your taxes as low as you want using St. Kitts as your new home. An example of one of the many people I've helped was a guy from Germany. This German was paying out a tremendous amount of money in income taxes in Germany. I convinced him to not only move himself out of Germany, but also to get his assets out of Germany and become legally non-resident of Germany to escape the top tax rate of 45% on his personal income. And since he was in the import-export business, he could work from a pure tax-saving country or a country that had a territorial tax system and basically come out with similar results. I also showed him how to escape taxes on equities and all rental income or real estate. I taught him that moving out of a high tax country and taking his assets with him and going to a tax saving country or a country that has only a territorial tax system would not automatically stop his tax. For example, if you move to a territorial tax country such as Panama in Central America that taxes income only derived out of Panama and not income outside Panama, but then invest in real estate there, you will have to pay income taxes on rental properties in Panama because that income was derived out of Panama. This German only spoke English and German and no Spanish. He discovered that buying real estate in a country such as St. Kitts, he would not have to pay taxes on the rental income. St. Kitts does not have any income taxes inside or outside the country. St. Kitts also has a lot lower property tax long-term than Panama, and by buying property in St. Kitts, this German could also get citizenship in as quick as 4 months if he chose to do so. Now, you might wonder, why would someone with a German passport, might want to get a second passport, since this German does not like, if he doesn't like high taxes, all he has to do is leave Germany and become legally a non-resident of Germany. Well, St. Kitts and Nevis, just like Panama and other countries, will prohibit you from working in certain type fields unless you're a citizen of that country. You can get residency in St. Kitts without being a citizen, but to do this, a company would have to be set up with company fees paid, and to do this would be very difficult unless you contract to hire several employees, that are nationals of St. Kitts. He could also buy a property that did not qualify for citizenship of around $300,000 US, and that would give him residency but not citizenship with no right to work. Getting citizenship in St. Kitts gives the foreigner who is now a citizen the right to working, and he gets around the work hurdle, and also gives him a great insurance policy if he has a problem in Germany, or even the EU for that matter. Having to hire St. Kitts nationals when you really don't need to long-term can cost you a lot of money, and maybe more than the actual citizenship would cost. This is something else to consider. To get citizenship in Panama would take at least 10 to 15 years. Plus, he would have to take a Spanish test and relinquish his German citizenship and give up his passport there. And that would be a big mistake because Germany's passport is one of the best passports in the world as far as visa-free travel goes. The St. Kitts and Nevis passport allows dual citizenship, and there's no requirement to take a test in English, although the Germans spoke fluent English anyway. Citizenship in St. Kitts allows you and all your family members to not only work in St. Kitts or have a business there, but you can get into businesses that are only allowed for citizens. The tax savings from getting a second passport in St. Kitts can literally pay for the citizenship and the passport. St. Kitts property valuations on land are also cheaper than other pure tax saving countries where English is the main language, such as the Cayman Islands, Antigua, Dubai, British Virgin Islands, and Bahamas. A lot of countries restrict you from working or having businesses in certain fields unless you have citizenship in the country. It's also very time consuming or impossible to get citizenship in pure tax havens I mentioned earlier, except for St. Kitts and Antigua. I educated the German that leaving Germany and investing in another country would more than likely incur a withholding tax on dividends in that country because most countries incur one. There are 21 countries in the world that do not tax any dividends. So I told him if he wanted to avoid that tax, then he would need to pick an equity in that country. And we can work with anyone and show you what those countries are, because those countries change periodically, and we can show you how to avoid the tax there. But no country, to my knowledge, in the world legally taxes capital gains on equities to non-residents except the USA, if that non-resident is a U.S. citizen. Even if a U.S. citizen qualifies for the foreign earned income exclusion, he's still responsible for paying capital gains on the profits on the sales of U.S. equities. If you're a U.S. citizen, the only legal way to get around all taxes with no limits is to relinquish your U.S. citizenship and move outside the USA in any of its U.S. territories, and move all of your assets outside the U.S. and any of its territories also. I also showed him how to outsource for employees, and in some of the cheapest areas of the world where English is widely spoken, allowing him more money to save for investing in his business and other investments. I've worked with many U.S. citizens, and by being a U.S. citizen, you can dramatically lower your personal, corporate, and Social Security tax a lot by setting up an offshore corporation and qualifying for the foreign earned income credit. But if you have a lot of capital gains and taxes from dividends, you should strongly think about getting a second passport and relinquishing your U.S. citizenship, because this is the only way you're going to get around everything. In fact, the more your assets are, the more you should be inclined to relinquish your U.S. citizenship, because you can save more in taxes over the long haul. If you got a question or comment, just put us a question and send it to us. And if you want new videos as they come out, just hit the subscribe button to your right of the screen, and we'll get those to you as soon as they come out. And if you got any questions, just send them to us, and we'll go from there. I look forward to talking to you on our next video. Take care. Bye.